Benjamin Franklin had a money lesson that would make modern financial advice sound a little less complicated. He believed you could be taxed by more than the government. You could also be taxed by idleness, pride, and foolish spending. And unlike your regular tax bill, those charges arrive quietly. They hide inside delivery fees, subscriptions, impulse purchases, and the sentence, "It's only $20. That is the real cost of ignoring Benjamin Franklin's money rules. Not just having less money, having less time, fewer options, and more pressure every time something unexpected happens. The first lesson is probably the second most important one. Treat your time like money. Franklin wrote that lost time is never found again. That sounds like something printed on a motivational mug, but it becomes very practical when you look at your spending. A $12 takeout order does not only cost $12. It might represent the time you worked to earn that money, the time you spent scrolling through menus, and the future time you may spend worrying about why your checking account is empty before payday. That does not mean every takeout order is bad. Sometimes you are tired, sometimes dinner needs to happen quickly. The problem is, when convenience becomes automatic and your time keeps getting exchanged for purchases you barely remember. Before spending, ask yourself, am I buying something valuable or am I buying relief for 10 minutes? That question alone can stop a surprising amount of spending. Now here is where Franklin becomes more useful than a collection of old quotes. His money advice was not really about becoming obsessed with pennies. It was about noticing what repeatedly pulls your money away from your priorities. The second lesson is that small expenses become large when they repeat. One $7 purchase does not look dangerous. Neither does one $5 app, one $9 subscription, or one $6 convenience fee. But 5 small charges every week become more than $100 a month. And because each charge feels harmless, your brain never experiences a dramatic moment when it says, "This is the problem." The money simply leaves in tiny pieces. It is like having a hole in your wallet so small that each dollar feels unlucky instead of suspicious. Franklin understood that repeated small expenses could quietly destroy the results of hard work. Modern life has simply given those expenses automatic billing and a cheerful notification. So once a month, scan your bank statement and look for anything you forgot you were paying. Not what you remember buying, what you forgot you were buying. That is usually where the money is hiding. The third lesson is that earning more does not automatically make you wealthier. If your income rises and your lifestyle rises at the same speed, your raise has already disappeared before it arrives. You get a better job, then a more expensive apartment, a larger paycheck, then a larger car payment, a promotion, then more dinners, more subscriptions, and more shopping because you feel like you can finally relax. This is lifestyle creep. It is not one dramatic mistake. It is a slow expansion of what your life requires. And the real danger is that your new lifestyle starts to feel normal very quickly. A $70,000 salary can still feel broke if your monthly life requires $69,900. A smaller income can create more breathing room if you protect the gap between what comes in and what goes out. That gap is where savings, flexibility, and peace begin. The fourth lesson is to make your future self a priority before your present self spends everything. Franklin's advice focused heavily on saving as well as earning. The modern version is simple. Move money toward your future goals when you get paid, not only when something happens to be left over, because something is rarely left over by accident. Your checking account sees a new paycheck and immediately starts making plans. A restaurant plans, a shopping app plans, your car plans, every subscription plans. If your future gets paid last, your future usually gets the leftovers. Start with an amount that feels almost boring. Maybe $10 per paycheck, maybe 3%, maybe a separate account for emergencies or annual bills. The amount matters less than creating the habit of paying the person you are becoming. And here is the part people often miss. Saving is not only about becoming richer. It is about making ordinary problems less powerful. A flat tire is annoying when you have a buffer. It is a crisis when you do not. The fifth lesson is to treat knowledge and skills as financial assets. Franklin was a printer, publisher, writer, inventor, and business owner. He understood that useful knowledge could create opportunities long after the original effort was finished. That does not mean you need to collect degrees or spend thousands of dollars on courses. It means you should ask, what skill could make my work more valuable, reduce a bill, or help me make better decisions? Learning how to negotiate pay, compare insurance, cook 5 reliable meals, repair something basic, or understand your retirement plan can all have financial value. You are not only trying to cut expenses, you are trying to become harder to financially overwhelm. The sixth lesson is to keep your own eyes on your own money. Franklin repeatedly warned against neglecting small details and trusting other people too much with your affairs. Today, that means knowing what leaves your accounts every month. You do not need a complicated spreadsheet. You need to know your recurring bills, your debt payments, your savings balance, and your available spending money. If you do not look, you are not avoiding stress. You are outsourcing control. Your bank account is not a report card. It is a dashboard. It tells you what is happening while you still have time to respond. And now we reach the strongest lesson. The goal is not to make money so you can keep upgrading your lifestyle forever. The goal is to create a life that needs less of your money to function. That is what financial freedom actually begins to look like. Not a sports car, not a private island, not pretending you never want anything. It looks like having enough room to handle a surprise bill, change jobs, take a break, help someone you love, or say no to something that is damaging your life. Your income gives you possibilities. Your spending decides how many of those possibilities remain available. So the real cost of ignoring Benjamin Franklin is not that you miss a clever old saying. It is that you keep working harder while your money quietly purchases obligations instead of options. Start with one rule. Review the small expenses you forgot about. Automate a small amount toward your future. Protect the gap between your income and your lifestyle. You do not need to become extreme. You just need to stop letting every raise become a new bill. Coming up next, if you make under $70,000, stop doing these 7 things.